Hello.
Toastmaster Mercy, your network is a bit scratchy.
Can anybody hear me, please? Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can go ahead.
I love. Wow.
Hello, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, is it better now? Okay. I love, okay, example is I love is folksy, yet not.
Okay, Madam General Evaluator, maybe you do good to proceed with other
yes, please.
Members.
Apologies for that. I think the network is having issues with the network. Well, but I believe that she was already at the end of her role. And so we have the word for today is folksy. Okay, that sounds like one that would be interesting to incorporate into our vocabulary today. Well, there you have it, Toastmasters and guests. Our evaluation team for today will be evaluating the time, your crunch or filler words, and your grammar, and also our general performance in today's meeting. And at the end of the meeting, when we're called upon, we'll come back to give our report. Thank you so very kindly, and over to you, Toastmaster, today.
Thank you most powerfully, our amiable General Evaluator Toastmaster Debbie, for that warm introduction of your teammates. We are looking forward to an exciting time as I see everyone looking well prepared to take on their role most professionally. Quickly, for the sake of our guests in the house, you may wonder, what are these people up to? What are we doing? I will say that every regular and standard Toastmaster meetings comprises of 3 major sections. The first part is the prepared speeches. After the introduction like this, we move on to the prepared speeches. We move on to the table topic, please, the table topic session. And what happens in the table topic session? The table topic session is a place where speakers are called on to speak impromptu on any topic of the table topic master's choice. This is used majorly to train us to be able to stand up and talk, not just talk sense, and talk professionally at any given point in time. A professional Toastmaster is not expected to be caught unaware when it comes to speaking and speaking sense at that. So table topic aspect is a place where volunteers in this session, let me make it clear that guests too can participate. If you watch the way Toastmaster does it and you feel you can bell the cards, you are very free to indicate and show us what you are capable of doing. It's a moment where speakers are allowed to speak for 2 minutes impromptu. Next to that, after that is the prepared speech sessions, where Toastmasters are called upon to present a speech they have earlier prepared for. And the third session, this takes about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the time allotted by those who drew the agenda. I think this official standard is 5 to 7 minutes, I presume. And the last but not the least session, the third session, is the evaluation session. You know, we've always said and repeated it over that one of the strengths of this amiable club is that feedback aspect. I mean, of what essence is your communication if you are not going to get a feedback? So the evaluation session is a category where all speakers are evaluated by seasoned and professional Toastmasters based on how they have fared in the course of talking. This is a moment to commend and to recommend to them as well what they could have done better. Let me also add that the team, every meeting has a team, and the team is the central focus that drives the morale behind every Toastmasters meeting. For today's meeting, the team is the power of the mind. And I put this to us, that the mind is one of the most powerful places in a human body. Call it the heart if you want, but for today we are using the word mind because every action, every utterance, every reaction, every gesture that a man does originates from the mind. So if you are going to enjoy today's meeting, it begins with your mind. If you are going to take home something today from today's meeting, it's your mind. I want to implore all of us that we should open our minds wide and let it be receptive so that we can learn, we can relearn, and we can unlearn in today's meeting. So at the end of the day, we would be better off for attending this meeting. Let us reflect around this theme, the power of the mind, even as we proceed into the meeting. As I said earlier, the next session we are going to engage in is the table topic aspect. And there is a table topic master who will handle that. For the table topic master of today's meeting, we have our very ever eloquent, highly committed Toastmaster Josephine Agolo, who will be the master of the table topic session. Toastmaster Josephine is an entrepreneur who loves shopping. I love shopping too. Little wonder we are good friends. She joined Toastmasters in the year 2021. She is currently serving as the secretary of the Lantos Toastmasters Club and the incumbent vice president membership of the, sorry, I beg your pardon, the incumbent vice president membership of the Bay Toastmaster. I couldn't see that printing clearly. I guess she will correct me when she takes over the virtual lantern. Something Bay Toastmasters Club. A personal mantra is nothing good comes easy. Nothing good comes easy. So please, with a round of applause, either physically or with our virtual simile, let us welcome on board this ever radiant, ever smiling Toastmaster Josephine Agolo as she tells us what we are to look forward to in this table aspect. Toastmaster Josephine, you own the floor.
Thank you very kindly, our Toastmaster of the day. Well done. It is actually Victoria Bay Toastmasters Club. Thank you for the warmth of your welcome. I'm actually catching on your foxy because you have almost explained my role this evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Yes, this is the table topic segment. This is a session at Toastmasters meeting where we are given the opportunity to practice impromptu speaking skills. It actually helps us to think on our feet and improve our improvisation skills. What are those skills? Listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering. I must say that the topics I have prepared hopefully will help us to achieve these goals. I would like to let us know that this segment is for both Toastmasters and guests. So, like the timer has already said, the timing for this section is you are meant to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute minimum, 2 minutes, 30 seconds maximum. So at 1 minute, you will see the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, you will see the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, you will see the red card. But then you still have 30 more seconds to wrap up your foxy speech, just so that it will be eligible for voting. Are we going to be voting? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's get right into it. The questions are very cool, like I said, because right now I'm in a foxy mood at the moment. So I have questions 1 to 7. I would like a Toastmaster to show us how this is done, just so that our guest could emulate. With a show of hands, please. Can I get a Toastmaster? All right, DTM Baba today. Thank you for bailing me out. Yes, I have question 1 to 7 for you, sir.
Question 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go question 7.
Thank you, DTM Baba today. Question 7. Your thoughts create your reality. Do you agree or disagree, and why? Your thoughts create your reality. Do you agree or disagree, and why?
Thank you very kindly, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Your thoughts create your reality. Do I agree or disagree? That question, when I heard, quickly made me remember far away, somewhere in the city of Lagos, when I was in secondary school, we were invited to the debating competition. And I remember vividly how our competitors would come and say, "Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow audience. My name is Babatunde Adegbini. I'm here to support and oppose the motion that says your thoughts create your reality. Do you agree or not?" For me, as Babatunde, I do not agree, neither do I disagree. But I stand in the middle to say whatever you think, so you are. If you think you are good, yes, you are good. If you think you are not good enough, you need to improve, definitely you need to improve. Whatever you think, so you are. I think it was a well-known author or philosopher or motivational speaker, I can't remember the name presently, but he said, whatever you think, so you are. I see the yellow light, and in my head I'm thinking, yellow, does it mean I should be ready to cross the road? Or no, I should wait for red that tells me to stop. But instead of that, I'm not on the road. I'm not crossing, waiting for cars. I'm only here speaking on that topic that says, whatever you think, so you are. Your thoughts and your creativity and your reality, they have a way they sync. They have a way they align. So if you want to ensure that what you think and what happens are the same, ensure they always align. Over to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
If your hands are not too busy, please, let's give it up for DTM Babatunde. Thank you most graciously, DTM Babatunde, for that foxy response. Nothing short of a is it Victorian? They corrected me for that word today. Victorian. Whatever you think, so you are. Thank you so much. Yes, we have seen how it is done. Our guest in the house, please, can you indicate interest with a show of the hands? Okay. No guest in the house. I see Sheyi. Sheyi, are you on the call? Are you a Toastmaster or a guest? Shay, are you on the call?
Hello?
Yes. I can hear you.
Yes,
Toastmaster Shay, yes. I would love you to pick a question. Are you a Toastmaster or a guest, first of all?
a Toastmaster.
Oh, wow. All right. I would love you to pick a question. Question 7 is out. We have 1 to 6.
Question 2.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. Do you think your mind is powerful? And why? Do you think your mind is powerful? And why do you think so?
Wow. Okay. I think the mind is powerful. I agree with that the mind is powerful. Personally, I have practical experience that gives me that absolute confidence to say that the mind is a powerful tool. And just like the title of today's session is The Power of the Mind. And the mind is everything. What you think, you become. I also absolutely believe that. Because the mind controls everything that we do. Like a popular author says, everything in life is created twice, first in the mind and then in the physical. Hello, can you hear me?
Audibly well,
Yes,
we can hear you.
yes.
Okay, thank you. So I absolutely believe that. An example is whatever we plan to do or whatever action that we plan to take, there is first a thought in the mind before in actual sense that is being done. Even in creation, whatever we want to create or design as a product, as a service, as a business, starts first in the mind as a thought. So because of this, I absolutely believe that the mind is powerful and is the source of every idea that drives creativity and everything else. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so my submission supports the fact that the mind is powerful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shay. That was a foxy delivery, I must say. Well done. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Yes, I still have time for one more question. Any guest in the house? Temi Tokwe, are you a guest? Because all the rest people I can see are my friends. Temi Tokwe, are you on the call? Okay. Ajani Ibrahim. Ajani Ibrahim, are you on the call?
Yeah, I'm on the call.
All right. I would like you to pick a question, the last one. We still have 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Oh, I think I'd like to go with number 1.
Okay. What do you do when your mind tells you you can't? What do you do when your mind tells you you can't?
What do I do when my mind tells me I can't? What do I do? Thank you very much, Toastmaster Josephine, the Table Topics Master. What do I do when my mind tells me I can't? Well, frankly, I would have to consider the importance of what I have to do. If I have to make an important decision and my mind tells me I can't, well, I'll have to think about the consequences of not making that important decision. And if the consequence is something that I can withstand, then I'll go with my mind. But if I think further into the future, and I think the consequences of this action, of inactions in my mind is telling me I can't, it's gonna be awful and I cannot accept it, then I would like to go to somewhere far away, maybe a nature park or a tourist center, somewhere where I can be alone, somewhere where I can think very clearly. And when I know by the time I've taught for like 1 or 2 hours, I would have reached a conclusion. I would have convinced my mind. If it's something that I really have to do, I would have found time to convince my mind and really tell my mind, you know what? It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be worried about not wanting to do this. But if we do not do this, we would not be happy with ourselves. So Ibrahim and Ibrahim's mind, you have to come together and agree and try to fix this issue that you need to do. So it's not a question of whether I can or I cannot. It's a question of, do I have to do it? And if it's something I have to do, then I definitely will do that thing. And it's back to you, Toastmaster Josephine. I like your spectacles, by the way.
Oh, wow. Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Ajani. I must say that that was a foxy response to my question. You said that the consequence of the action is the real deal. It is not whether you can or you cannot. Thank you most graciously. Thank you everyone for taking the bull by the horn, for coming up to take the table topics question. DTM Baba today, Toastmaster Sheyi, and Toastmaster Ajani. Thank you so much. Each and every one of you have shown bravery. And like they say, fortune favors the brave. And it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so very kindly, the table topic master, TM Josephine. That was a very interesting and foxy session. Very, very interesting indeed. So without wasting our time, I'm going to be calling on the table topic evaluator to evaluate the speakers on how much, how far, how well they have all fared while speaking. Our table topics evaluator for today is no other person other than Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko. For those who know her, you already know the stuff she's made of. But for those who do not, Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko is a corporate sales executive with over 5 years experience in the field of products, proposition, and development. She worked for one of the leading financial institutions where she developed value-adding products targeted at women entrepreneurs. She also managed corporate sales in a leading medical diagnostic company. Currently, Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko is undergoing a graduate studies in international marketing at the Robert Gordon University, Scotland, in the United Kingdom. TM Toyin is also a serial entrepreneur and has floated over 5 businesses over the last decade. She's a prolific speaker and a member of the Lentor Toastmasters Club, where she serves as the current Vice President Public Relations Office and also the immediate past president. When TM Toyin is not speaking or working, she loves to read great stories. She runs a blog where she tells inspirational stories that teach in-depth values about life. With a clap of hand, physically or with the aid of your virtual memes, please welcome this delectable Toastmaster as I hand over the floor to her so she does the table topic evaluation. Toastmaster Tony, you own the floor. The virtual lecture is over to you, please.
Thank you so much, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Olufemi Adeyinka. It's been a delight listening to you. Okay, I think we should vote first. Please, can we have the vote before I start my evaluation?
Okay, the host will decide that if the voting functionality is on. Please, host, are we empowered to vote? Let's know quickly.
Yes, I think that we can vote.
Okay.
But first we'll have to take the timer's report to see who's eligible for voting.
Okay, that's true. So timer, quickly, can you please run a swift report on the timing performance to know if anyone is disqualified or they are all qualified, please? TM Tosin, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. All the three speakers did a very good job, so I must commend them, for maximizing the time. So speaker one actually spent 2 minutes, 16 seconds, and speaker two, 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and speaker three, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. So with the grace of 30 seconds on the 2 minutes, I think the three of them are qualified for voting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that quick report, our amiable timer. So meaning all the three are eligible to be voted for?
Yes.
So can we do that, our host?
Since we don't have a poll ready, I think that we could all do well to just send a private message to you, Toastmaster of today, on which speaker we think did the best.
Okay,
and then
that's
you
a
can
very
help
good
us.
idea. Okay, since we couldn't vote on the same screen, please kindly send in your best table topic speaker for today to me privately while the evaluation is going on. I'll collate and I will get back to the group immediately after the evaluation. Thank you so kindly. You can just send who you pick as the best speaker for the table topic session. Thank you. Toastmaster Tony Bolajoko, the virtual lantern is over to you. You can kindly go ahead with your table topic evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you. It's been amazing listening to all the table topic speakers. Well done. In fact, you delivered great life lessons in a folksy manner, and I must say that I am inspired. I'd like to start from the first speaker, DTM Babatunde. I mean, what do you expect from a distinguished Toastmaster? I don't think distinguished Toastmasters should be allowed to give table topics anymore. I think it's not fair because they do so well at it. They are so skilled and craft at it. Well done, DTM Babatunde. Your question was, your thoughts create your reality. Do you agree or disagree? And you came on with so much confidence. You repeated the question and you moved swiftly into storytelling without even much of a thought. Well done. That could only come from a distinguished Toastmasters like yourself. You use your body language quite generously. You had a clear tone of voice, was confident, and you gesticulated a lot. We were able to see your body language and were able to connect with you. Well done, well done. You did justice to the topic. However, in an event like this where you are asked to take a side to either agree or disagree, you took a political approach by saying you stay in the middle. I want to recommend that you take a side so it's easy for the audience to be able to follow through with why, your why. There's a why. So they'll say, oh, this person agrees. Why? We want to know why. It gives them something to anticipate, and it gives them something to be able to relate with. Other than this, you did amazingly. Well done, DTM Babatunde. That was a folksy presentation. Moving to Toastmaster Sheyi, the question was, do you think your mind is powerful and why? You came on clear, you came on calm. You used quotes, your voice was calm and your pace was commendable. You talked about how you think your mind is powerful and how you think it's the seat of decision making. You used the quote that man's first action starts from the mind, and you explained to us a lot. I think that next time you should try to repeat the question because you sounded thrown off by the question. It's quite difficult, and I must commend the table topic master for picking such thoughts-worthy questions. So you were a bit thrown off. Next time, maybe try to repeat the question, smile, so that the audience becomes at ease, and you also can take some time to think about the question. You added, and I also recommend that you should add some enthusiasm to your speaking so we are able to see and hear the emotions behind your voice. And you could tell a story, even if it's not your story, even if it's a story you read somewhere about how somebody thought about something powerful, and now we have it. We have a lot of stories about people who thought about possibilities and they have the realities. For example, story of Thomas Edison who made the light bulb, the story of Albert Einstein. Any story could have fitted properly into this scenario, and that would buy you a lot of time. But well done. That was a fantastic, fantastic presentation. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Sheyi. Finally, Toastmaster Ibrahim. This is one person that I personally love to watch because I think he has a poetic way of talking and delivering speeches, and he did not fail today. Toastmaster Ibrahim was asked, what do you do when your mind tells you you can't? As a veteran Toastmasters that he smiled, he repeated the question over and over again, and he got his stance. He got a stance of confidence. He had great use of his pauses. He allowed the words to sink in. He told us practical steps that he would take in this situation, like visiting a nature park, visiting a place of interest. And I like something that you did, Toastmaster Ibrahim. You spoke to yourself in third person, giving us a clear scenario of how we talk to ourselves when we're trying to make decisions. He said, Ibrahim and Ibrahim's mind. Please, this is why you need to make this decision. He gave us a visual representation of how we actually talk to our minds. Well done. That was quite relatable. All right. So I would have loved if you could share an experience, if you could have shared an experience where it was difficult for you to make up your mind, or where your mind was telling you you couldn't. It would have helped us to really relate to what you're saying even better. You can teach lessons by just being folksy, and that's what you did because you're a veteran Toastmasters. Well done once again. Fellow Toastmasters, an amazing guest. I want you to give a round of applause to all the speakers today. Just use the emojis of the emoticons to just give them a virtual round of applause because they've done fantastic. And I know that this is the stock that Toastmasters breeds because we are all leaders. Well done once again. And back to you, my very fantastic and amazing Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you most graciously. Thank you most graciously, TM Toyin Bolajoko, for that foxy and well expatiated evaluation. You've done justice and we really enjoyed it. I personally, with open mind, have picked 1, 2, 3 lessons from that evaluation, and I promise to live by this well-informed evaluations. Thank you so kindly. I wonder why people are not voting. Could it be that you are not so confident in the panel of judges? Or could it be that we are just scared to type? In total, I have a total of 8 votes here, and we are about 17 in the house, meaning that almost 11 people did not vote. That's not good enough. With the 8 votes that I have here counted, the best table topic speaker goes to the TM Babatunde Adegbide, who has only but 4 votes. TM Ajani has 2, TM Sheyi has 1. And I believe they have all done well. It will be surprising if the winner goes to any other person but the DTM. He has proven himself to be an experienced and a seasoned, distinguished Toastmasters. I believe we should give all the speakers a round of applause, please. They have all done well. If you feel they've not done good enough, next time when the floor is open for table topic master, stand up, beat your chest, and bell the cat. You see, it's easier being a spectator in this kind of session than to be a participant. But the growing, the learning per se lies in participation. They've all done fairly well. I'm highly impressed about the entire session. Highly educative. Thank you so kindly. Without wasting our time, we'll move on to the next session on the agenda, which is the prepared speeches session. The prepared speeches. Like I said earlier, we have almost 3 prepared speakers today who will be speaking on various things. The first speaker under this session is our amiable Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko. But before I give her the floor to speak, I will be calling on our evaluator, which is distinguished Toastmaster Kubi Uyanga. Diten Kubi is going to be giving us a brief explanation of what we are expecting from what are the objectives of Toastmaster Toyin Bolajoko. I'm trying to look for the profile of Toastmaster Kubi Uyanga. But in the absence of that,
I can go ahead, Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay, let DTM Kubi take over the virtual lantern. The floor is yours. Give us the speech objectives of TM Toyin Bolajoko. The floor is yours. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Good evening, everybody. Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko will be giving the High Performance Leadership Project, the second speech in that project. The objectives of the project is for the speaker, Toastmaster Bolajoko, to apply her leadership skills and planning skills to choose a project plan, choose a guidance committee, and organize a team to implement that plan. It's a 2-part project that has 2 speeches. This is the second speech. And for this second speech, she's going to share an aspect of her experience in doing all of those things, choosing a plan, organizing a guidance committee, and implementing that plan. She has 5 to 7 minutes to complete the speech, and she will be accompanied with my very best wishes. Back to you, the Toastmaster.
You're muted, sir.
Oh, thank you for that quick observation. I said thank you so kindly, Toastmaster Kubi. Before I give the floor to Toastmaster Toyin Bolajoko to give a speech, Toastmaster Kubi is a communication consultant. He's the program quality director, Division K. He's the co-chair, Education and Training Committee, District 94, and immediate past president of the Merit Toastmasters Club, Ikeja. I think it's good to note that. Thank you so kindly. So the virtual lantern is over to you now, Toastmaster Bola Joko. Oluwatoyin, you own the floor, please. Kindly give your speech. Thank you.
This is my final speech in the innovative planning pathway, level 5. Wow. I've always imagined what my final speech would look like and how excited I would be to deliver it. That was before I took a path so challenging and treacherous, it changed my life forever. Fellow Toastmasters, amazing guests, good evening. I am here to warn you not to take this path. In fact, run from it when advised, because it's a path called leadership. I took this path last year and I will never forget my experience. I delivered a speech about how I was escorted to the path of leadership and asked to champion a club towards growth, success, and prosperity. The club is Lento Toastmasters Club, a charter club. I was given the task with executives to make this club a President Distinguished Club. I began the journey with so much vigor, zest, energy. In fact, I was so sure that this club would be the best. I had a fantastic team, and they were committed to the mission and the vision of the club. Speaking of vision, it is impossible to run without a plan on where you would like to end. It's the same with leadership. If you have no vision, do not take this path. My team and I began this journey, fierce and strong. We were running, we were making it. After a while, I saw some of them drop off. Some had valid reasons, others didn't seem to care. Oh, Madam President, what is happening to your race? I began to double, triple, even quadruple on various roles and asked to wear multiple hats to make up for those who had fallen. If you're not flexible and versatile, do not take this path. The race was challenging. My body was trying so hard to keep up. But it seems as though it was easy. Yes, easy. Easy to cry, easy to lose my mind, easy to get distracted, and easy to regret the entire decision. Who sent me, right? If you're not resilient, do not take this path. Soon enough, some of my racers, fellow racers, and even spectators began making comments. Some were kind, some were snide. The comments sometimes were hurtful. And I began to ask myself, what is this journey? What is the significance of this journey? Only the racers know where the pinch or the shoe bites. If you are not self-aware, do not take this path. It wasn't all doom and gloom for the Lento Toastmasters team. In fact, we cried, we toiled, we lamented, but we made our mark. We became a President Distinguished Club based on our tears, our sacrifice, our vision, and our night of toiling. Trust me, it was an exhilarating experience. If you do not have a thick skin and a committed, kind team, do not take this path. Leadership is only a road a few will take, a path that gets so lonely and cold, but in the end, it's a journey so fulfilling and rewarding. Please be kind to your leaders, the good ones, for they wear smiles to cover their hurts. They motivate you over and over again, but they cover their fears, and they show up when no one else will. Motivational speaker Jim Rohn captured leadership succinctly when he said, the challenge of a leader is to be strong and not to be rude, to be kind and not to be weak, to be bold but not to be a bully, to be humble and not to be timid, to be proud but not to be arrogant, to have humor without folly. Leadership helps you to face life in a manner that is folksy and inspire people. I couldn't have completed my innovative planning in a better way. I think back and I look at the plans that we had, the committee, the advice, and everything that brought me to this moment. And I stand before you today, not just as an immediate past president, but a better individual who took a path many dared not to take. Are you like me? I dare you to take this path called leadership too. The Toastmaster.
That was a very excellent presentation. Am I audible, please?
Yes, you are.
Okay, why I'm verifying is the heavens are about to be let loose where I am. So I'm envisaging the network will likely misbehave. This is Nigeria, where every rainfall can cause our network to flicker. That was a powerful speech. It is not my job to say if it is good, excellent, or otherwise. I'll leave that to the evaluator, the Kubi Uyanga, to do justice before we call on the next prepared speech speaker. DTM Kubi, the floor is yours for your evaluation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I think the prepared speeches will be done before we give the evaluations. All prepared speeches.
Okay, it should be done concurrently.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, you can quickly pull the adjustment. That's pretty good by me as well. Okay. On the agenda, the next prepared speech speaker is our very own DTM Chidi Chukudi Madu. That's our IPDD, our immediate past division director, division F. And in evaluating her, I have on board the TM Babatunde Adegbite, our immediate past IPAD, immediate past area director. I will leave the floor for the IPAD to quickly give us the speech objective of the prepared speech 2. That is the one the Chidi will be giving. So the Babatunde Adegbite, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, come Toastmaster of the Day. DTM Chidi Chukudi Madu, aka 3.5 woman, would be speaking from the Leadership Development Path, Level 4. Her topic is the brand ambassador. The purpose of her speech is for her to practice the skills needed to effectively use public relations strategies for any group or situation. Another purpose is for her to share some aspects of our public relations strategy. She is allowed to use humor, visual aids. Our speech should be engaging, and it should not be a report on the content of public relations strategy. If you have heard Madam DTM Chidi Chukudi Madu speak before, I assure you, you are in for a thriller. But in a case you have not heard her speak before, please grab a seat, listen attentively, and I am sure you would be wowed. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Okay, thank you so kindly, December Babatunde, for that quick and explicit speech objective. I think the floor is open for the DTM Chidi now to come on board and give a speech. DTM Chidi, you're most welcome.
Thank you most graciously, the Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Adeyinka Olufemi. Pacesetters Club, good evening. Good evening, Pacesetters Toastmasters Club.
Good evening. DTM.
Awesome. Awesome. Can you see me clearly?
Okay.
Can you confirm that you can see me clearly?
Yeah, we can.
What can you make of my appearance? Tell me what you can see when you look at me right now. What can you see clearly?
White and
Some
black.
nice frames.
What color of clothes am I putting on?
I'm unable to see you. Your page is blank and black.
You are on monochrome.
Oh, I can see you. You're on a lilac spectacle.
Interesting. Can you see me now?
Vividly.
Yes.
Can someone tell me the difference between what your eyes can see now and what you saw some seconds ago?
The light.
The first one was darker. This one is brighter.
Thank you very kindly. You see, that's the thing about publicity, public relations. Someone might ask, what is public relations? What's the drama about public relations? You see, you are a message. How people see you or what message they get from you is dependent on what you put out. I remember years back, each time my group head of HR wanted to address the AWN Toastmasters Club, she would always send for myself or my charter president, Toastmaster Jane. And I always wondered why. So if you had something like, go and call me AWN Toastmasters, and whoever she gives that instruction to quickly runs to my office and goes, Bolaji wants to see you. I was always wondering, why me? Why do you always have to come to me? I mean, there are other people who are members of the club, but each time you hear AWN Toastmasters, the first name that pops up in people's head is Chidi. Another that pops up is Jane. And it took me a while to understand that it was because we had positioned ourselves as the brand ambassadors for the club. You see, being a brand ambassador is not about being a beautiful face or being a face that is put up on what? A flyer, a sticker, a dashboard. It goes beyond that. Being a brand ambassador is what people identify an organization, a group, or a person by. If I want to take us through a journey on discussing public relations, brand ambassadorship, we probably will spend a whole lot of hours here. But let me use a very practical example. Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko, she has wowed us with her speech about how she went through a journey, developing herself as a leader. Something I picked out from that speech was the fact that she was a brand ambassador for Lento Toastmasters Club. She was the face that people saw. She was the image that told the story about Lento Toastmasters. Not because she was the president or because she was one individual. No, it was because she embodied what that club stood for. She understood the fact that she had a team that she had to work with. She understood the fact that it would take a lot of work to get to the point she wanted to go to. She understood the fact that if she had to push through every obstacle to get there, she was prepared to do it. How are you a brand ambassador? Or rather, I should ask you, what are you selling? Because in life, we are all selling something and buying something. It depends on what part of the yardstick you're on. When you need something, for example, a guest comes to Pacesetters Toastmasters Club because he or she wants to improve his leadership or public speaking skills, that person is ready to buy. It now depends on Pacesetters Toastmasters Club to sell to the person, understand that person's need, and sell what that person requires. Public relations strategies is all about putting out a message in such a manner that people are able to understand, interpret, and provide a feedback that is in line with what you actually meant by your message. You see, there's this quote by Mark. Mark is an American author. He said that you too are a brand, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. So it doesn't matter what you tell yourself. It doesn't matter how you position yourself. The fact is, you are passing a message. You are selling something, and people will buy whatever it is you're selling. Most times we hear that you are addressed how you dress. If that is not telling you that with every action and every word you speak, that you are a brand ambassador, I don't know what else it is. Once again, what are you selling? What are you buying? Jenna Sachs, an American writer, who said that your brand is a story unfolding across customer points. What is your customer point? What is your story? I like to tell people that you should couch your story in such a manner that you will tell it how you want it to be told, where you want it to be told, and when you want it to be told. If you're able to get this right, then you can assure yourself that indeed you are a brand ambassador. My question once again, Pacesetters Toastmasters Club, what are you selling? Are you able to identify the need of your customers? And are you able to tell your story chapter by chapter, page by page, in a manner that you will not be too fast for your customers and not be too slow? Are you telling that story in a manner that they would understand what exactly is in it for them? Do not forget, you are a brand ambassador, and whatever you put out to sell, be rest assured that people will buy. So put out great work and keep being a champion. The Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you most graciously, DTM Chidi, for that spiffing, foxy, and stunning speech. It was really exquisite, to say the least. We leave the evaluation to DTM Babatunde Adebinde to do justice when the time comes. We quickly move on to the third speaker for the prepared speech today. And the prepared speech, the third one, will be given by no other person, by DTM Kubi Uyenga. For the evaluation, this will be done by our most amiable DTM Stella Odua. And I will be leaving the floor for DTM Stella Odua to tell us the speech objectives. For those who are guests in this meeting, DTM Odua Stella is a distinguished Toastmaster, the past Division F Director, a mother, a civil servant, and a passionate Toastmaster. Her hobbies include reading, speaking, swimming. A major focus for 2022 is to help Toastmasters and clubs to build better speakers and leaders. If there is any motto she holds on to, it is to be goal and result oriented in every way. DTM Stella Odua, you own the virtual Latin. You can come on board to give us the speech objective for the third speaker. Thank you most kindly. The floor is yours, DTM Stella.
Thank you, esteemed Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. Toastmaster Kubi Uyenga, a communications consultant.
Good evening.
Thank you. Toastmaster Kubi Uyenga is a communication consultant. He is the Program Quality Director, Division K, co-chair Education and Training Committee, District 94. He is a producer for Medlar's Hangouts and the immediate past president of Merit Toastmasters Club. Today, in listening to him, we are going to evaluate him from the speech, that's from the Persuasive Speaking Manual. The speech title he did not indicate, but he will tell us as he goes along. However, the purpose of the speech is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speaking or speeches and to deliver a persuasive speech at the club meeting. And this is the club meeting. So while he's delivering it, we are to look out for a well-organized persuasive speech. We are to expect him to appeal to our emotions, ethics, and logic. We expect that if he wishes, he will be humorous, informational, depending on the style he wishes to use. On the whole, we expect a folksy delivery. Best wishes, Toastmaster DTM Kubio Yanga. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, the Toastmaster. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Thank you.
Did you hear me?
Yes, you are most audible. Thank you. Okay. Very kindly, we heard you clearly. All right, thank you so graciously, Stella, for that straight to the point objective of the Kubi speech. So the virtual lectern is over to you, Kubi. You own the floor. You can go ahead with your speech. Thank you.
Thank you. So there are various definitions, but when we really get down to it, excellence is when we do that thing, those things which we absolutely must do when they come our way, whether it's easy or difficult. Our Toastmaster, Mr. President, my club extension chair, model mentor Odunwa, friends and our esteemed guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Do you wonder why the title of my speech is Integrity and I opened with excellence? It's simply because when you lead with integrity, excellence usually follows. I don't believe this because Tony Robbins said so in a YouTube video I watched. Yes, he did, but also because through my own experiences, I have come to see that this is true. You see, integrity is going to give you personal peace, and it's also going to facilitate your progress. Does anyone here know the name Mike Igini? See, Mike Igini, until recently, was the INEC resident electoral commissioner for Akwa Ibom State. And he retired a couple of days ago. And the news media, social media was agog with many encomiums for the man. You see, in his time in that position, he was very resolute and astute in integrity. And he, despite tremendous risk to his person, despite tremendous opposition to what he was trying to do, despite everything that worked against what he was trying to do, he insisted, he pushed on assiduously, and he delivered one of the fairest elections that that state had ever seen in 2019. So there were many encomiums from different quarters, many voices were praising him, and they even recommended that maybe he should be given a new position of higher leadership authority. That's a demonstration of integrity. And when you do the right thing for the greater public good, and when, especially when it is visible for everyone to see, that is responsibility to society. But how about when it's just you? No newspapers singing your praises, no tweets hailing you, no eyes seeing you, just you. How about when your workers' salaries are due at the same time, when your rent is due and you only have so much funds? Are you going to renew your rents and lie to your workers that the company is cash strapped? How about when you scratch that other vehicle when you are negotiating out of a parking lot, when you are in a hurry? Are you going to just drive off because you're in haste? How about when you are on a strict diet and then your spouse comes back home with sweet smelling shawarma? Are you going to have just that one bite? You see, when you do what you must do, when most times maybe you are the only person affected, but more importantly, when there is no one else to observe your actions or to praise or comment when you do well, that is responsibility to self, and that's also integrity. So integrity is immeasurably important. I can share so many, but I will just mention like 3 importance of integrity. Number one, you never have to waste so much time and energy questioning yourself. You don't do that. You see, when we display integrity, another thing is that we gain the trust of other people. And of course, you know, when you gain the trust of other people, they entrust responsibilities to you. They give you opportunities. Maybe the third one would be that we become role models for other people to tend towards. And all this impacts our success in life. So then you might ask, how do you develop this integrity? It's pretty simple, but it's very difficult. 3 things again. Number one, you must define your values. Because if you don't define your values, you don't have parameters to act, to know whether, okay, I'm acting with integrity or not. So is it honesty? That is your core value. Is it respect? That is your core value. Whatever it is, define these values so that whenever an action, when you are tempted to take an action that is outside these values, you can know that no, this isn't going to be acting with integrity. Number 2, you have to analyze every choice that you make. Big choice, small choice. Maybe you can just use 2 parameters to make this analysis. Number 1, if this thing was pasted on the pages of newspapers, would I be proud? Would I want other people to read them? Number 2, okay, if later I retrospect on this action, am I going to be happy with myself? Those 2 things can guide us to know when we are acting in integrity or when we are about not to act with integrity. Maybe the third thing, which is actually very important, is that you must relate with other people of integrity. Because like I said, iron sharpens iron. Now I am a realistic person and I know that since we are humans, we can't always get it right all the time. Sometimes we will stumble, sometimes we will falter. But then whenever you find that you've stumbled, you've faltered, you've acted in a way that does not make you believe that you did what you did with integrity, it's simple. Own up to yourself and to others and do all that is necessary to make it right. Remember that integrity will give you personal peace and will also facilitate your progress. And in a folksy manner of speaking, peace and progress equals excellence. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Yes. Hello. Hi. Hello. Toastmaster of the day.
Hey, good evening. Thank you most graciously, DTM Kubi, for that briefing speech. I think going by the protocol on the official agenda, I'll be calling on the general evaluator in person of our Vice President of Education, Toastmaster Debbie Herican, to call on the evaluators for these prepared speeches and also to proceed with a general evaluation. The floor is yours, Madam VPE. The virtual lantern is yours, please. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And hello once again, Toastmasters and guests. I believe that we've had such an insightful time with all that has happened. I can say that I have enjoyed myself. I don't think that I've been in a single meeting with so many DTMs. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's participated and every speaker. And right now we're going to the evaluation session. And for the evaluations, we're going to start with the evaluations of the prepared speeches. And for that, I would be calling on the evaluator for the first speech. The prepared speech given by Toastmaster Oluwatoyin, and her evaluator is DTM Kubi Uyanga. DTM Kubi, the virtual lantern is yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for giving me the chance to share my evaluation of the High Performance Leadership Speech 2 given by Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko. I must say that that was a speech very well done, very well organized, and very well presented. What were my observations? The very first thing that hit me was great opening. She had a strong and sonorous voice. She had energetic presence. And in that opening, she gave an overview of what the speech was about, which of course made us know this is what we are in for the next 5 to 7 minutes. And I love her foxy way of grabbing attention with repeating the title of the speech in that opening. Do not take this path. Great body language again. I love her eye contact. I loved her gestures, which were very effective also. And I must say very salient lessons were shared because part of the objectives or the main objective of this speech was to share her experience completing the High Performance Leadership Project. And some of the lessons I caught was, leadership, this thing that she told people not to take this path, it's tiring. But then there is a lesson there that as a leader, you must take care of yourself. While you work so hard, you must also rest. Another lesson I saw there that as a leader, you get to meet with team inefficiency sometimes. The team member could fall sick, could move away, could just not do their duties. You have to be understanding. I also got the lesson that sometimes we don't always want these things to happen, but we can see disloyalty, we can see negativity from people around us. But if we are emotionally aware, we can always forge ahead and win despite all of this. And then, above all, very important to have a committed team. And of course, the lesson there was to always improve our skills in building teams. I love the fact that the whole speech and presentation was very congruent because she linked different portions of the speech with that very beautiful and catchy phrase, do not take this path. And just maybe one thing that I observed, which I don't know exactly why it was so, I observed that her body movements were a bit cyclic and she ambulated a bit. And it could be a little distracting. A better way would have been to, if you have to make any movement, to make it a purposeful movement. You stay in one position, drop a thought, if you need to make a movement or change your body position, let it be after you have completed one thought. You could change your position and give another thought. That way it communicates confidence and it's not distracting. But above all, she did a very great job and she finished with the icing on the cake, what every effective speech must have, a very strong call to action. And what made this call to action very strong? It was very relatable because at that tail of the speech, she shared some things about herself that all of us could connect with. Some strengths that she had, some weaknesses that she had, some realities that she faced. And everyone on the call, I believe, could have connected with that. So that made everything she said to resonate with us. And I like the fact that she twisted it at the very end and said, after she had made us to be relatable to her, said, so are you like me? Please take this path. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolacheko. Back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, DTM. Thank you, DTM. That was a succinct evaluation and we expected no less. Very wonderful. And I'm sure that we all learned from it as well. Once again, wonderful delivery, Toastmaster Oluwatoyin. Now on to the evaluation of the second speech. Please make welcome to center stage distinguished Toastmaster Babatunde Adegbite, who will be evaluating the speech by distinguished. I like it when distinguished is evaluating distinguished. We see the real deal come out. He will be evaluating the speech of distinguished Toastmaster Chidi Madu. Please put your hands together for DTM Babatunde Adegbite. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, delectable Madam Vice President Education. Thank you. It gives me great honor and pleasure to be sandwiched between two distinguished Toastmasters. DTM Kubi, very good friend, an inspiration, and DTM Stella Odunwa, mommy of mommies, mentor of mentors. I have so much happiness to be evaluating another distinguished Toastmaster, a woman that I fondly call 3.5 women. I will be using the commend, recommend, and commend structure. First things, what did I hear before what I observed? Because if I close my eyes and I hear something, before I open my eyes, what I've heard can tell me what I'm going to see. I heard crisp voice, lovely, succinct voice. I heard a voice that was greeting the first time. She didn't get a response. She greeted again and kept on greeting until she got a response. Very well done. I like the fact that I observed that you were trying to clarify, asking the audience, what can you see? Can you see me? You followed up with a question saying, what else can you see? What are the other things you can see apart from my face? You kept asking questions, trying to engage the audience, making them a part of your speech. Well done. You were asking questions as you were changing some of your, should I call it props down, props, because you put off the light, you put on the light and asking the effect, the lightning. Well done. I loved that you used drama to introduce and explain public relation. I like that. I observed that you did that. Well done. You use that also to explain what a brand ambassador is for those that do not understand. Like they will say, you explained it to a layman and the layman would understand what a brand ambassador is, using your drama and analogy. While I was looking for recommendation, I did not see. And I was so much pained until I had an eureka moment and I saw the recommendation right before my eyes. So what do I recommend? I recommend that I observe that you kept saying, Pacesetters Toastmaster, what are you selling? You repeated it like 2 or 3 times. Pacesetter Toastmaster, what are you selling? I would advise that you say, or you make it more personified by saying fellow Toastmasters and guests. Because do not forget, everybody present in this meeting is not from Pacesetters. They are guests. There are other Toastmasters from other clubs. So don't let people feel left out. So I would have preferred that you say, fellow Toastmasters and guests, what are you selling? Quickly, what other things will I commend? I like that you use storytelling. You never go wrong with storytelling. I saw your hand movement, descriptive gesticulation. Well done. You showed us that you were alive and attentive. You linked your speech to a speech that was delivered just before you. Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko, you use that speech to explain your story, use it to explain brand ambassadorship, and you smiled. There's one particular part, this particular part I like very much. You smiled and gave us a serious face at intervals. When the speech or what you were saying needed some smiley, you gave us a bit of it. And when it needed it to be serious, you gave us the serious face. Well done. You used different quotes and you linked the quotes to the topic of brand ambassadorship. Beautiful. You use questions to get the audience thinking. You ask them, what are you selling? And I like your ending call to action, advising us that pull out great work so that we ensure we sell the right things. At this point, I would like to say, DTM Chidi Chukudi Madu, you are selling the second DTM journey to us. I ask you, what are you selling? Over to you, the G General Evaluator.
Thank you. Amazing evaluation, very captivating and engaging. Thank you, DTM. Sorry, please, someone, I think someone needs to mute their microphone. Come now. Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho, please can you mute? Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Sue. Nice to be here.
Welcome. Okay, thank you, DTM Adekbindin. That was really clear, engaging evaluation. And we have learned, I'm sure not just DTM Chidi, and thank you for that. Thank you. Really, really interesting. Now we're going to be going to the evaluation of the third speech. And it is such an interesting day at Pacesetters because we have all distinguished Toastmasters. But you see, this particular distinguished Toastmaster is one that we love so much at Pacesetters. We respect her. She's been amazing to this club, and we will never forget her impact in the growth and the birthing and the growth of Pacesetters Toastmasters Club. So we're so excited that she's here today. And like always, we expect her to deliver an enthralling evaluation. Distinguished Toastmaster Stella Odunwa would be evaluating the speech by distinguished Toastmaster Kubi Uyanga. I have my notepad and pen already here to take down notes in all of this. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Stella. The virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you so much, my amazing topics. That is general evaluator, I'm sorry, not Toastmaster. In listening to Toastmaster Kubi Yanga's speech, I must commend him for choosing the topic integrity, for indeed, is one of the hallmarks of excellence. Toastmaster Kubi, your speech was soul searching, and I must tell you that your quote about having integrity and excellence, which gives you personal peace, as well as facilitating your progress was very apt. I want to say that you dressed very well, elegantly, with a panache, to ensure that you actually depicted the topic that you wanted to present to us. What would I like to recommend to you, Toastmaster Kubi? When you started and you said, does anyone know Mike Igini? You gave a purposeful pause. And the next thing was, I was expecting responses. However, if you wanted responses, your pause was too short. And then again, you did not direct speakers on how to respond. As such, no one knew whether they wanted to show up with their hands or just unmute their mics and speak. So that could be worked upon. Again, too, when you talked about the person that was nominated, Mike, and how he came on to deliver an election, I was looking forward to you actually, since we didn't really know Mike, for you to at least give us a brief intro concerning what made Mike Igini to stand out as to be recognized by the state governor as to appoint him to be the electoral chair, or was it the president that appointed him? I also noticed that your speech was given in almost the same monotone, that of someone who was trying to probe into our minds. And the soul searching, I must say that the length of time that was used to actually try to probe into people's minds to be reflective was rather a bit too long, that for me, it was almost like I was in presence of a pastor or in presence of maybe a psychologist. However, I must commend you again that that same tone helped to at least bring to the minds of listeners the need to actually reflect and be introspective on what integrity actually stood out for and what excellence was, as well as the continued barrage of questions which you asked us to make us reflect and think deep. They all helped to drive home your points. Congratulations, Toastmaster Kubi Uyanga. I want to say that you gave us a powerful and soul-searching speech. I can't say I really liked the fact that it was so long a reflective time, and that we would have loved some humor and some storytelling behind it. But I must say that this brings another dimension to a presentation on the topic integrity. It was really soul-searching, and all of us could feel goosebumps on our bodies as we listen to you. Well done, Toastmaster Kubi. Please, let's give him a round of applause for his style of delivery.
Wow, amazing evaluation there, distinguished Toastmaster Stella. And just like I said, she really delivered as we all expected. Wonderful prepared speeches. I would say we have all learned a lot. I have learned so much from all the speakers and evaluators here today. Many thanks, everyone. Now we'll be going into the general evaluations for the meeting, and I'll be calling on the team I introduced earlier. To start with their report, I will be calling on the timer to tell us how well we have used our time today. Over to you, Toastmaster Tosin Adeosun.
Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed myself today. So much power in the room this evening, and I'm looking forward to a day where I will be making excellent speech, just like all our speakers have done this evening. I would not want to go over the timing for the table topics, so I will quickly, report timing for the prepared speeches. So for speaker one, TM Toyin Bolajoko, she made a very good presentation and she made a very good use of her time, 5 minutes on the dot. For speaker two, DTM Chidi Chukudi, she spent 7 minutes, 26 seconds, which I believe there's always room for improvement. So next time, I actually recommend that she maximize her time and she stay within the time. Okay, for speaker three, DTM Kubi Nyanga, he spent 7 minutes, 28 seconds. So this is the report for the prepared speeches. So overall, it was a very good speech delivery, and it was a very engaging session. So well done, everyone. Thank you. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you to our timer and your accurate timekeeping skills for this meeting. We're going to be inviting the grammarian to give us her report on how we fared with the word for the day and our use of grammar in today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Mercy.
Thank you very kindly, our amiable VP. Firstly, I'd like to apologize on behalf of my service provider. I was thrown out of the meeting for the better part of the meeting. And I came in during the prepared speeches, and I was actually wowed that I forgot I was the grammarian of the day. I actually thought probably nobody got the word of the day until I started seeing people using it in the chat. So I'd say, yes, the word of the day was basically understood. Then for the outstanding word for me, with the power-packed speeches we had, with our distinguished Toastmasters giving speeches, my hand failed me to write anything. But then, these things stood out for me by DTM Kubi when he placed integrity, excellence, and peace of mind in a sentence. I think I love that. That particular quote stood out for me. I think that's all I'm able to do for today. Thank you. Over back to you, our amiable VP.
Thank you, Dear Mercy. Well, we would accept the apology on behalf of your service provider. We have no choice. We are Nigerian, in Nigeria, after all. Okay, and finally, let's take the report from the counter for today, Toastmaster Oluwaseyi. Please, the center stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam VP. And I hope you can hear me. Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. It's been a wonderful session. And then in every inch, also Foxy. And I've struggled throughout the session to actually perform my role. And I think the quality that I have seen today is evident of the fact that we have very distinguished Toastmasters in this session. Nonetheless, I have only recorded 3 aspects where filler sounds were used, and also one word that was used severally. For the filler sounds, myself, I used the hum sound 3 times during the table topic, and also DTM Babatunde used the sound once during the table topic and twice during the evaluation. And then lastly, DTM Kubi used the word hand during the evaluation session severally. So those are the areas where I actually noted this. Thank you, Madam VP.
Our master, I counted over 15 arms and tools for you.
I counted over 10.
Thank you. Thank you so very kindly. So I think that the role of the counter is one that is always ready to be on the chopping board, you know. When it's time for the counter to speak, it seems like every other person is acting the role of the counter for the counter. And I can attest, I just attested to this, saying that I was also counting your R's during your table topic session, Mr. Counter. And just now, while you were giving your evaluation, we had other people counting your R's.
Spare my counter,
Oh, well.
please. He's counter. Nobody needs to account him, please.
Well, I don't know. This always happens in every meeting I have witnessed, where every other person is waiting for the counter to start speaking. Then they start counting the person's as if the person had transferred duty to them. And I can see that even here today, we were not exempted in that role and that tradition of Toastmasters Club. But thank you so very kindly, our counter, for that wonderful job. And yes, we also would give our own report later after today's meeting on your own, how well you performed with your own hours. Well, it has come to the time where I would give my general report on today's meeting. And I want to say that this meeting has been an interesting, very insightful meeting. I have learned a lot. The quality of the meeting is something we cannot underemphasize here today or overemphasize. It has been amazing. I want to thank the Zoom master for opening the meeting room in time, 30 minutes before time. It afforded people time to connect, to catch up, and to relax before the meeting started. The meeting started at exactly 6 p.m. with a fair number of Toastmasters in attendance when the meeting started up, which is very commendable. Guests were welcome, but I would recommend that sometimes we have guests that join during the meeting. I know that I observed 2 guests that I had invited during the course of the meeting. I'm not sure if they're still here towards the end. I would recommend that at intervals, we could sandwich welcoming guests to meetings at strategic intervals, because not every guest may join at the beginning and not every guest may stay until the end. I think that that would be a good one for us. For informing everyone on the format of the meeting, how the meeting was supposed to go. The Toastmaster of the day may have missed that at the beginning, but quickly caught on and was able to do that, which is very vital, because we have people who may not even understand what's happening, and so that they can be carried along. Even as we segue from session to session, I recommend that it's still important to clarify what the session entails, so that whoever has joined would be able to follow suit. For properly introducing everyone, it's quite vital that everyone who's going to play a role should be properly introduced, so that you don't just hear one person and then see another person. Introduce everyone as possible, okay? Sorry, the word I wanted to use just went off my head when I saw a low battery on my phone. Okay, so try to introduce everyone so that we can know who is speaking to us. That way it makes us more comfortable with them, feels like, gives us some sense of familiarity with them. The table topics session, I want to commend the table topics master for the amazing topics that were picked for this table topic session, very thought-provoking and in line with the meeting's theme. Thank you so very much for that. The table topic session was handled well, it was engaging, and we had such amazing speakers. Overall, I want to say that we have fared very well in today's meeting. Even with time, we're just about 3 minutes above our schedule, but I think that so far we've done very well. I want to really commend everyone who's played a role and who were able to deliver so expertly on their roles today. Thank you very much for making this meeting an interesting one and insightful and enjoyable for everyone in attendance. With this, I'll come to the end of my evaluation and I will be handing over the lectern back to the Toastmaster of the day and president of the club to bring the meeting to an end. Thank you so very kindly, and over to you, Toastmaster Olufemi Adeyinka.
Thank you so kindly, our general evaluator for today. You've done a very good work. You've done justice to the evaluation session and we are impressed. I personally have learned a lot today. My mind is excited at the moment because I've learned so much. Without wasting our time, we've already surpassed the scheduled time by 4 minutes. I think it's been a worthwhile session. For the guests, I want to recognize you once again. If you love what we are doing, please don't hesitate to contact any of the Pacesetters, Toastmasters, Exco and member so that we can follow through on how to fully integrate you into this wonderful family. Thank you all our DTMs. Today is a special day because almost all the speeches were given by DTMs and all the evaluations were done by DTMs. For the record, it is official in the voice of DTM Kubi. DTM Chidi, sorry, it is official that all evaluations were done by DTMs. We feel so honored having you all in our midst. Thank you so much. Thank you so kindly. And on this note, I want to be calling, if there is a guest in the house that I have not personally recognized, please, I open the floor for a modest interruption.
Sorry,
Please,
Mr. President. Sorry, okay. Mr. President, before you go into that, permit me to have the honor of announcing that the youngest and newest distinguished Toastmaster in our midst. I believe that this meeting is his first official, he's performing his first official duty as DTM in Pacesetters Toastmasters. Please, let's give a warm round of applause to DTM Babatunde Adigbeyin.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
You deserve it. We have always enjoyed you. Your mastery, your humor, everything, and your dint of hard work and commitment to excellence. Well done.
Thank you.
We are so proud to have you have the first official duty in Pacesetters Toastmasters Club. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much.
It's official that the first official duty DTM Babatunde took over after becoming the most envied, distinguished position is in Pacesetters Toastmasters Club.
Mr. President, your mouth is too sweet, Mr. President.
Be calming down, Mr. President.
Okay. It's official. It's official.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. There goes Madam DD, IPDD.
I think at this, okay,
I said I was going to put it on my, I'm going to brag about it. The first assignment by DTM Babatunde was to be my evaluator, speech evaluator. If you can boast about it, please stand up. Let's see you. Let's see if you can make noise about
it. And what a styling evaluation. Hey!
Absolutely.
With
absolutely.
Fire. A wow evaluation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
It's all fun today. It's been a very exciting session indeed. We really enjoyed every bit of the meeting, and honestly, we have no regrets giving this time out. And I am really proud of everyone. Thank you on behalf of my fellow exposed here in Pacesetters. Thank you to all our DTMs. Thank you to all the guests. Thank you to everyone who has made today's meeting a spiffy one. Thank you indeed. At this junction, without wasting our time further, I will want a bona fide Toastmaster to call for the adjournment of the meeting, please, to put on a motion for the adjournment of this meeting. Am I still audible at all? A motion for this meeting to be adjourned till a fortnight's time, please.
Okay, in the absence of any Toastmaster, I, Toastmaster Stella Odunwa, hereby move the motion for adjournment of this meeting till the next time when the meeting will be held.
Okay, thank you very kindly, DTM Stella. And I, Toastmaster Adeyinka, do hereby second that this meeting has officially come to an end. Thank you so kindly. Officially, the meeting is over. We can connect and reconnect and still do behind the scene talks and chats. The meeting is officially over.
I think we still have one guest in the house.
We love you all. Yeah.
We still have one guest in the
meeting.
house.
We can take introduction of guests.
To identify.
After the close of the meeting, we can take introduction of guests now.
Okay. Used to the house, please. Okay, the meeting is officially over. We have done that. Maybe the network flickered at the end. We've done that.
Okay,
Toastmaster, you can now introduce guests. You can now introduce guests.
We have, I think we see, I see Agoro Blessing. Agoro Blessing.
Agoro.
Hi.
Okay, Madam.
Good evening.
Hello to us. Good evening, Madam Agoro Blessing.
Good evening.
Are you a guest in our midst?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was invited by, I saw the post by Miss Debbie and can you hear me?
Oh, that's so delighted.
Very well.
Having Miss who invited
you. Can hear you very well.
Yes, Miss. Okay, Miss Debbie, I saw the post and I planned to join the meeting.
That's lovely. That's lovely. We are so delighted to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Just contact the same madam. She knows every stuff you pass through all the
Okay, sir.
I bring your blessings.
Thank you for coming over. We'll still want you to come more and bring people, your friends.
Yes, sir.
Just Master Agoro Blessing. It's like I've heard of that name before. Have you been in any Toastmasters club in Lagos? Or maybe someone with your name? Oh, it's a pleasure having you. You are very welcome. And
thank you, ma'am.
Your manner of speaking reminds me of our esteemed Vice President Education, Toastmaster Debbie Hireka. You have almost the same melodious voice.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Oh.
Welcome.
You're welcome, Blessing.
Yeah.
It's a
Thank
pleasure
you,
having
ma'am.
you. Thank you for honoring the invitation. We hope to
Yes.
see you again, so I will send you
Yes,
another
ma'am.
invite.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. This
Thank
is
you. Thank
impactful,
you.
seriously. Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone. I believe that we've had
Bye,
such
everyone.
a great time.
It's been a pleasure.
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
It's been a pleasure.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you so much.
DTM Stella. Thank you. We appreciate you. Always.
Thank you so much for an enjoyable meeting.
Thank you. Toastmaster Tosin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sophia.
How many packs of Coke would you give me for 100 Naira? I have just 100 Naira and I need many packs of Coke.
I will add 100 Naira to it and buy you a bottle of Coke.
It's packs. I want packs. I want packs.
I will add 100 Naira
just
to your
for
100 Naira and buy you a bottle of Coke.
Thank you so very kindly.
Great job
Thank
this evening.
you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. You are
really
wonderful.
Good. Thank you for that wonderful job done too.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
Toastmaster Sheyi. Finally,
Toastmaster
Sheyi made it to play in a role. I was so excited when I saw you say you would take on the art counter. And thank you for delivering. Thank you. It gets better, it always does. Well done, Toastmaster Sheyi. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Sheyi. Well done.
Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho, hello. Sorry we couldn't welcome you properly during the meeting. If you're still there, thank you. Thank you for attending our meeting. Thank you so very kindly. All the way from Merit Toastmasters Club. Thank you, Toastmaster Fumi.
Thank you for acknowledging my presence. It's good to see you, Toastmaster Deborah.
Yeah. Thank you
Good
so
evening,
much.
everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba, if you're still here, thank you for holding on the room for us. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you, everyone. I believe that we can just leave. The meeting to end is in the hands of Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba. So we could just leave the room and then he'll end the meeting appropriately.